Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Nimra. I'm so happy you are here today. Whether this is your first time watching or you have been with me for a while, today's lecture is for you. Because today we are going to talk about something that almost every English learner struggles with, and that is hesitation. You know that feeling, you know the English, you have the words in your head, but the moment someone asks you a question, everything disappears. You go blank, you say and you feel embarrassed. Raise your hand if this has happened to you, because it has happened to me. Come on, be honest. See, even that silence just now, that little pause, that is exactly what hesitation feels like. And today we are going to fix it together. Today I'm going to show you exactly why this happens and more importantly, what to do about it. By the end of this lecture, you will have 5 powerful habits, 15 new vocabulary words, a list of common mistakes to avoid, 4 speaking exercises, and a 7-day challenge. So let's not waste any time. Let's begin. Okay, first, let me ask you something. Do you hesitate because your English is bad? Most of you are probably thinking, yes, Namra, my English is not good enough. But I'm going to stop you right there because that is not the real reason. Hesitation is not a language problem, it is a confidence problem. Your English is good enough. What trips you up is the fear of judgment the moment you start speaking. Let me explain this with 3 ideas. When you pause before speaking, your brain is running a quality check. It is asking, is this grammatically correct? Will people judge me? Is there a better word? And while your brain is doing all this checking, time is passing. You go silent and you feel nervous. Now, what do fluent English speakers do? They skip this quality check. They trust themselves to make corrections while speaking, not before. They say something imperfect and fix it along the way. That is the key difference. Not better grammar, but better trust in themselves. For example, watch me do this right now. Yesterday, I went to the hospital. Actually, no, I mean the clinic. Anyway, I went there and the doctor said that you should come for a regular checkup next month. Did you see that? I made a mistake, I corrected myself, and it sounded completely normal. That is what fluent speaking looks like. You do not stop, you just keep going. Now, let me show you what I call the confidence gap. When you write an email in English, you have time. You think, you edit, you reread. Your written English is probably quite good, right? But when someone asks you a question face to face, you have no time. 2 seconds to respond, and suddenly your English seems to disappear. That gap between your writing ability and your speaking ability, that is the confidence gap. And the goal of this entire lecture is to close that gap. Not by learning more grammar, but by practicing specific techniques that train your brain to speak faster. Here is something that will immediately make you feel better. When you hesitate, what do you think other people are thinking? You think they are judging your English. You think they are laughing inside, but actually they are not. When someone hesitates, listeners almost always think one of two things. Oh, they are thinking carefully, or maybe they are not sure about the facts. They do not think your English is bad. The judgment you are afraid of, it is almost always imagined. It exists in your head, not in theirs. Let that sit for a moment. The fear is real, but the judgment almost never is. And once you truly believe that, everything changes. Now, let's get practical. I'm going to give you 5 habits that will change how you speak in English. These are not theories, these are techniques that native speakers use every single day, and you can start using them today. Habit number one, use filler phrases. A lot of students think that saying or going silent means they are weak speakers, but guess what? Native English speakers use fillers all the time. The difference is they use good fillers. Full phrases that sound natural and confident instead of just one word or saying or ah. They use full phrases. Let me show you the phrases. Repeat after me, say them out loud with me. So, first filler phrase is well. Well, I think that's a great idea. That's a good point. Let me think about that for a second. You know what? Let me think about that. Honestly, I haven't thought about it much. Honestly, I am not able to understand this concept, but maybe you can help. I mean, it's a complicated situation. That's a good question. Let me think about that for a second. So these are some filler phrases you can use. Well, you know what? Honestly, I mean, that's a good point. You can use them in sentences and feel the difference. So you have had noticed something. These phrases do two things at once. First, they fill the silence you are, not standing there saying nothing. Second, they buy you time. While you say the phrase, your brain is working on the real answer. It is like pressing pause on a video while the file loads. Smart, right? Okay, let me show you what I mean. Someone asks, "What do you do?" And I say, I'm a teacher," and then smile. Now, same question, same person, but this time with a filler phrase. Honestly, I'm a teacher. I teach English and I love it. Hear the difference. Same words, completely different energy. And that is the power of a good filler phrase. Okay, habit number two. This one is a game changer. Most people wait until their entire sentence is ready in their head before they start speaking. Do not do this. Start speaking before your full sentence is ready. Because the act of starting actually unlocks the rest. Think of it like pushing a car. The hardest part is getting it moving. Once it is moving, it rolls on its own. Your sentences work the same way. You start and the rest follows. So, here are some starter phrases. Use one of these to begin any answer. The first one is, so basically, what happened was, and then you can start with the story that comes naturally. So basically, what happened was our car's tire got punctured and we got stuck in the traffic. So what I'm thinking is that is an other opener. So what I'm thinking is we could try a completely different approach. The way I see it, this is actually a big opportunity for us. So basically, what happened was I was running late and I missed the call. So basically what happened was I was ill and I was not able to attend the meeting. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is we need more time. Honestly, the first thing that came to my mind after listening to the word English is Nimra, because English with Nimra is a good channel to improve your speaking abilities. That's interesting because I was just thinking about this yesterday. Try it right now. I'm going to ask you a question. Use one of these openers to answer. Ready? Here is the question. What do you enjoy most about learning English? Say your opener and then let the rest come naturally. Okay, here is my answer using one of those openers. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is That moment when you understand a movie without looking at the subtitles. That feeling. That is why I love English. See how easy that was. The opener did all the hard work. Habit number 3. This one requires a mindset shift. Repeat after me. Say it imperfectly rather than say nothing perfectly. One more time. Say it imperfectly rather than say nothing perfectly. So many students stay silent because they are waiting for the perfect sentence. But fluent speakers do not wait for perfection. They speak, and if they make a mistake, they correct themselves mid sentence. And it sounds completely natural. So, here are some correction phrases you can use before starting a sentence which you need to correct. The first one is actually what I meant to say was. Actually, what I meant to say was the meeting was on Wednesday, not Thursday. Actually, let me rephrase that. What I really wanted to say is uh, Nimra is better than Ali. What I'm trying to say is I was not happy with how it was handled. These correction phrases are not signs of weakness. They are signs of a confident, self aware speaker. Even news anchors and professors use them. So, next time you say something wrong, do not panic. Just say, actually, what I meant was, and carry on. Habit number 4, slow down. I know what you are thinking. Nimra, I want to sound fluent. Shouldn't I speak faster? No. Speaking faster when you are nervous is the worst thing you can do. It makes your speech messy, unclear, and it makes you more nervous. Let me say the same sentence two ways. First, fast and nervous. I was just wondering if you could help me. I was just wondering if you could help me. Now, slow and confident. I was just wondering if you could help me with that. Which one sounds more confident? The slow one, right? Always the slow one. So, here is the rule. Speak at 70% of the speed you think you should. It will feel uncomfortably slow to you, but to the listener, it sounds clear, calm, and authoritative. Confidence is calm, not rushed. Watch this. I am going to speak very slowly right now. I want you to notice how this feels to listen to. Does it sound bad to you? Or does it sound calm and in control? That is the point. What feels slow to the speaker sounds powerful to the listener. Remember that. Okay, habit number 5. This is what I call the answer around technique. Sometimes you do not know the exact English word or you cannot remember a specific fact. Most students at this point go completely silent, but fluent speakers answer around the gap. For example, someone asks, what is the GDP of Pakistan? You do not remember the exact figure. Instead of silence, you say, off the top of my head, I'm not sure of the exact number, but it is growing quite rapidly. See, you answered, you communicated, you moved the conversation forward. So instead of going silent, or instead of saying I don't know and then awkwardly stopping, you can say off the top of my head, I would say roughly it is around 20%. I would say, but I would have to double check it. Or instead of blank face and saying nothing, you can say, I don't remember the exact term, but the idea is basically to understand the health of the economy of a country. Similarly, instead of long silence and looking down, you can say something like that. I'm not sure about the specific details, but what I do know is it tells about the health of a country. And as far as my country is concerned, I think it is improving, which is a good sign. These are not excuses, these are sophisticated communication strategies. Politicians, professors, and business leaders use them all the time. Now you can use them too. Now, let's build your vocabulary. These words and phrases come up constantly in real conversations, at work, in meetings, with friends, everywhere. I will teach you one with its meaning and a sentence. Your challenge. Pick three words each day this week. Say each one out loud in a real sentence. I'm going to teach you these in three groups because that is how your brain will remember them best. Okay, group number one. These are your drafter words, the one you use in meeting, in class, or in any formal situation. So the first one is frankly, that means honestly or directly. Frankly, I think we need a completely different approach. Off the top of my head, that means without checking or you do not know the exact answer. That is the word you will use at this time. Off the top of my head, about 50 people attended the meeting. So you do not know the exact figure, but without checking, you are figuring it out as 50. Bear in mind, remember this. Um, bear in mind the deadline is this coming Friday. The next one is run through. That means go over quickly or to check something quickly. Let me quickly run through the main points before we finish. Let me quickly run through the main points before we finish. The next one is touch base. That must be a new word for you. That means brief contact. Can we touch base tomorrow before the meeting starts? Can we touch base tomorrow morning before the meeting starts? Okay, group number two. These are your opinion words. Use these when someone asks what you think. So the first one is nail it. Do something perfectly. So you can use it in sentence like she really nailed the presentation. Everyone was impressed. Get across. That means to communicate successfully. I hope I managed to get my point across clearly enough. I hope I managed to get across my points. Okay, there must be some other words I would like to add. Talk someone through. Explain step by step. Can you talk me through exactly what happened that day? Can you talk me through the exact Can you talk me through exactly what happened that day? On second thought, after reconsidering, that means after reconsidering or after thinking it twice. On second thought, let's wait until Monday to send the email. On second thought, I think we shouldn't go with this choice. For what it is worth, my opinion, for what it helps. That means according to my opinion, if it helps. For what it is worth, I think you made the right call. Okay, the group three. These are your polished words. The ones that make people think, wow, she really knows her English. So the first one is elaborate on. Could you elaborate on what you mean by restructuring? I stand corrected. That means I accept I was wrong. I stand corrected. You are absolutely right about that. Wrap up. Let's wrap up this meeting in the next 5 minutes, shall we? There's two more words I would like to add. Walk back. Walk back means retract what you said. The manager walked back his earlier comments after the meeting. Make a case for, argue in favor of. You can use it in sentence like she made a very strong case for extending the project deadline. Now, quick question for you in the comments. Which of these words have you heard before but never actually used yourself? Write it below and then use it today while cooking, talking family, thinking out loud. That is how vocabulary becomes part of you. Okay, This next section is one of my personal favorites, and I have to warn you, you are going to recognize almost everything I'm about to say, because honestly, our teachers taught us some of these. Um, and our teacher's teacher taught them, so it is not your fault, we were all learning. But now we know better, so let's fix it together. These are mistakes that Urdu speakers commonly make in English, not because our English is bad, but because we are translating directly from Urdu. Let's go through each one. I will show you the mistakes, the correct version, and why. The common mistakes are I'm agree with you, and the natural English is I agree with you. Agree is a verb, no am is required here. Similar is the case with I am not agree, which is incorrect. You can use the natural English, which is I disagree or I don't agree. The next one is kindly revert back to me. Revert back is a redundant term. We use a better phrase or better term, which is please get back to me. The next one is discuss about this topic. Natural English is discuss this topic. I would like to discuss this topic with you. Discuss needs know about. I have a doubt. I have a question or I'm not sure. I have a question. I'm not sure. You cannot use doubt. Doubt means suspicion, not confusion. As per my knowledge, as far as I know. As per my knowledge is the term we use in bureaucratic speech. For a better flow and for a natural English, you can use as far as I know. He gave me a missed call. He called, but I didn't pick up. In South Asian terms, we use he gave me a missed call, but it is not a globally recognized word. For a better English, you can use he called, but I didn't pick up. Now, I want to be very clear about something. These are not wrong in the sense that people will not understand you, they will understand you. But replacing these phrases makes you sound instantly more natural, like someone who has gone beyond textbook English into real English. And that is the goal, right? The one that always gets the biggest reaction is I have a doubt. So many of us, myself included, grew up saying this. Our teachers taught us this, but in standard English, doubt means suspicion, like I doubt he will come. When you want to ask a question or say you are confused, I have a question or I am not sure about this. Now we practice. I'm going to give you four exercises. These are private exercises. Do them alone at home when no one is watching. The goal is to build the muscles of speaking so that when you are in public, it is automatic. You would not go to a cricket match without practicing first, right? Same idea. So, the exercise number one, the filler drill. Take each filler phrase and say it 5 times with different intonation each time. Once confident, once curious, one casual, one surprised, once thoughtful. Phrase well, you know what? Honestly, I mean, let me think about that. And then use each one in a two-sentence answer to what do you think about working from home? That is your task. You will have to complete it. 5 phrases, 5 different answers. Should I give you some example? Like, well, if I will talk it like as to answer what do you think about working from home in a curious way. Well, I think it's quite interesting to use digital tools and work from home. I think it's a nice experience and I would like to do it more. A surprised one. Well, work from home. Um, I think I'm quite not aware of what you are saying. What is work from home? So you see the difference? in different tones, in different intonation, how you can use the same word. This is your first exercise. You will have to do it at home. The second exercise is start before you are ready. Someone asks, what is your biggest achievement? Start your answer immediately within 2 seconds using one of these openers. So, what comes to mind is, well, I would say, honestly, the first thing I think of is use these words and start your sentence. That's interesting because you can use these. So basically, what happened was do these 5 times, different openers each time. You will see the opener unlocks the rest. I have given you different openers. Jot it down, write it down on a paper, and try to practice English. Try to answer the question in using different openers. Honestly, my biggest achievement is to teach you English. Well, I would say my biggest achievement is to be a good teacher. Um, that's interesting because I actually think my biggest achievement is to stay happy in my parents' home um, and take care of them. So you can see the difference. You can see how you can make words starting with these openers and it will improve your fluency. The exercise number 3 is the slow sentence. Record yourself saying 5 sentences at half of your normal speed, uncomfortably slow. Play it back. I promise it will sound calm, clear, and confident, not slow. Then record the same sentences at your normal speed and compare. The slow version almost always sounds better. Watch this. I'm going to speak very slowly right now. Today, I want to talk to you about something very important. Okay, did that sound bad or did it sound controlled? That is your answer. Slow is confident. Exercise number 4. I give you a sentence. You say the same idea without using the underlined word. This trains your brain to find alternative expressions, the core skill of true fluency. The original sentence is I was frustrated. You can say it in another way as I didn't know what to do with myself, or I was quite fed up. The next original sentence is the situation was complicated. You can say it like it was a bit of a gray area for me. It wasn't straightforward at all. Another one is he seemed arrogant or angry. He acted like he knew everything. He didn't seem to value others' opinion. Do you see? Fluency is not about knowing more words, it is about having options, different ways to express the same idea. The more you practice this game, the more options your brain has ready when you need them. And now the part I'm excited about your 7-day challenge. Each day, one task under 10 minutes. But if you do all 7, you will feel a real difference. Screenshot this, write it down, print it, whatever works for you. Day 1, use a filler phrase every time you hesitate. No more silence. Day 2, have 1 to 2 minutes conversation entirely in English with anyone, family, colleague, or mirror. 2 minutes just. 3. Use 3 phrases from today's vocabulary in real sentences for what it is worth. Bear in mind, wrap up. 4. Voice note on your phone. What is something you are proud of? What is something you are proud of? Without stopping, no editing, just speak. Number 5. Find one moment where you disagree with someone. Express it politely in English in real life. 6. Speak more slowly than usual all day. Notice how people respond to you differently. And lastly, write 3 moments this week where hesitation held you back. Write how you would handle them now. And remember, consistency beats intensity. 10 minutes every day will do more for your English than 2 hours on the weekend. Small daily efforts. That is the secret. And that's, my friend, is lecture 2 of English with Nimra. We covered a lot today. Let me do a very quick recap before we finish. Habit number 1, use filler phrases, don't go silent. Habit number 2, start speaking before you have finished thinking. Habit number 3, embrace imperfect sentences, correct as you go. Habit number 4, slow down. Confidence is calm, not rushed. Habit number 5, answer around the gap. You don't need the perfect word. Vocabulary, 15 powerful phrases to use in real conversations. And the topics we covered were traps, 8 common mistakes replaced with natural English, and 7-day challenge, 1 task per day, 10 minutes each. If you found this helpful, please like this video. It really helps the channel grow. And subscribe to English with Nimra so you don't miss lecture 3. Lecture 3 is about vocabulary for emotions, the words you need when things get personal, when you are angry, upset, when you want to express something in English. That one is going to be very powerful. Until then, practice your fillers, slow down, and remember, your English is good enough. The only thing standing between you and fluency is practice and confidence, and you are building both right now. Take care, and I will see you in lecture 3. Allah Hafiz. Freeze no more.